Afternoon, I'm Jimmy James. You're watching Catch It Live First. We've got coming up to you in 5 minutes the start of the MotoGP sprint race from Mugello. Should be a good one. We've got in. Just have a quick look at the qualifying. It was Jorge Martin in P1 with a 144.5. Pecco was second, but Pecco's got a penalty tomorrow, a three-place grid penalty. That was for dawdling on the racing line, I believe. I don't think that happens to affect the sprint race, though. We'll find out in a minute. So I think he will start in P2, but not for the main race tomorrow. Maverick Vinales P3, Marc Marquez P4. He crashed on his final flying lap on qualifying, really pushed the front end, but he was happy enough. Enea Bastianini is in fifth, Frankie Morbidelli in sixth. Good showing from Frankie there. Pedro Acosta seventh, Alex Marquez in eighth, Aleix Espargaro in ninth, and Alex Rins. That rounds out your top 10. In case you've not heard what was the breaking news, and I just caught a glimpse of it earlier, Pedro Acosta has signed a long-term contract with KTM, and I think I heard it right, that he will be riding on a factory KTM next year. And I think it was Jack Miller that's making way. So there's obviously, since I heard it, there's probably more stuff come out about it. So if you do know anything, let us know in the chat. But yeah, it was always going to happen, that wasn't it? Pedro Acosta signing long term with. Sorry, let's get this sorted. Signing long term with KTM. Let's see what he can do today from seventh on the grid. It's probably good. It's a Ducati circuit, isn't it? You know, they do all the testing at Mugello, so it wouldn't be the biggest upset if they were to have a win today. But Maverick Vinales, starting from P3, what was he behind Martin? Just under 2/10 slower in qualifying, so not a million miles away. The weather's looking hot, and but it looks sunny. There's a bit of cloud in the background there, but so no excuses from the track temperature. We will see. We've just got 2 minutes until we'll start the warm-up lap. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to win this one. I'm gonna go with Marc Marquez from fourth on a Ducati. Got to be in the running. So I'm going to nail my colours to Marc Marquez for this sprint race. After the last two races, he started from 14th position, didn't he? And he put in a good showing on both occasions. So fingers crossed, starting from fourth. A lot of the early work's done. We'll see what happens into turn one, though. That could be the last of the late breakers causing mayhem. Quick shout out to our stream sponsor today, jalexpetproducts.co.uk. Use the promo code JimmyJames and get a 5% discount on all online orders. The 10% discount ended at midnight last night, so I hope some of you took advantage of that. We're back to the 5% now, but that's not to be sniffed at for sure. We've got coming up almost straight after this sprint race from Mugello, we've got Rugby League from the Super League. Warrington Wolves playing Wigan Warriors, a clash of the big guns there for sure. That's going to be a cracking match. So as soon as this is done, we'll be shooting over to the Rugby League stream. Then tonight we've also got the Champions League final. So we'll be streaming 5 minutes before the start, just go through the teams. And hopefully we'll get a cracking match. Can't see anything other than a Real Madrid win. But we know that German teams can pull performances and get results when they're not necessarily the favourites. So we'll find out tonight what's going to happen for sure. Quick shout out to Jade, who sent me the audio clip that she'd done from last night's Absolute Carnage show. That's gone now. It was a waste of time. Never stream when you've been on the beer and you're rushing. Frankie James said to me, get rid of that. Too much swearing. Half time it was gone. But Jade managed to watch it and get some clips in. So thank you very much, Jade, for that. Appreciate it. Good fun. Good fun. Thank you. So the riders are on the warm-up lap now. Currently, Jorge Martin's in the lead of the championship from Pecco Bagnaia, who's in P2. So it's as they are on the grid. Jorge Martin on pole, Pecco Bagnaia in second. But like I said, don't forget tomorrow, if you're thinking of having a little flutter, not that it necessarily affects the outcome, but it's not going to help. Pecco Bagnaia's got I think it's a 3-place grid spot for dawdling on the racing line. And he upset Alex Marquez. Apparently, I haven't seen it yet, but apparently it was almost a not good smash. So you can only take, could have been a bit of people being over dramatic, but unless I've seen it myself, you can only take it at face value. A stein of apple and blackcurrant needed. Dehydrated today. Just managed to get the Guardians Cup before this stream and sweat last night's beer out. But I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling good. We're getting ready for the start here. Hopefully over this side, this will update with the positions. We will find out. Flagmen are moving away. The lights are coming on. Let's get some noise on the go. We're off. Good start from Maverick Vinales there. Not a lot of wheelie. Got the power down. Pecco Bagnaia into turn 1. He must have had a 5-6 lengths bike lead there. He proper nailed that start, and his teammates in P2, Bastianini. Where did he come from? P4. So we've got Bagnaia P1, Bastianini P2, Jorge Martin P3. Who's the Ducati in the KTM in P4 there? Arrabbiata 1. Jorge Martin's trying to get under Bastianini. Oh my word, that was close. Oh my word, in comes Marquez. Brad Binder, what a good start from Binder. From 13th place, he's up to 4th. Brad Binder, if he's not jumped the start, then fair enough. That takes some doing, that. 11 laps to go. Pecco's out front with a half a second lead. Jorge Martin in second with an A Bastianini right on his pipes. Then there's a little bit of a gap to Brad Binder with Marc Marquez almost inside his exhaust there. He's so close. So that's the end of lap 1. Marc Marquez on board. We're just getting a slipstream there past Brad Binder. How close do you like it? Oh my word, 220 mile an hour. Elbow to elbow. Marquez outbreaks Binder into turn 1. That's no easy feat, is it? Pedro Acosta's in P6 behind Binder, watching what's going on in front. That That from Marc Marquez, that on board, was wow. Wow, that's putting trust in other riders as well there, because Binder and Marquez, they must have been topping 220 there, and there was literally a cigarette paper between them. So that gap's just come down a little bit at the front from Bagnaia to Jorge Martin. It's down to 0.39 now from over half a second. Looks like nobody's getting away here. Bagnaia, P1, yellow flag in sector 3. Ooh. Quartararo and Oliveira are in the kitty litter together, and Quartararo was hobbling there. Let's hope he's alright. We've not seen the crash yet, so I couldn't tell you what happened. We just saw the aftermath of the riders. Oliveira was trying to pick his bike up. Quartararo was hobbling. There was no way he was going to pick his bike up. So that's the end of lap 2. 10 laps. 9 laps to go now. They're putting in 1:45.6s. Acosta's... Oh, have a bit of that. Oh dear me. What's happened there is, coming into turn 1, Bastianini's out. So Bastianini tried taking Jorge Martin on the inside. He overcut the corner a bit. Martin came underneath him, you know, for the late apex, and made contact with Bastianini. And Bastianini, man on the outside's pretty much always going to lose, and he did. So he slid out into the kitty litter. I'm sure the stewards will have a look at it, but for me, racing incident that. He overcut the corner trying to take Martin. Martin did the old switcheroony. Both riders wanted the same piece of tarmac, and the guy on the outside was Bastianini. Came off second best. He slid out, got onto the dirty stuff there, and yeah, his race is over. So we've got the top. Let's do the top 5. Francesco Bagnaia P1, almost half a second lead from Jorge Martin in second. Marc Marquez in third. Then we've got Brad Binder 4th, Pedro Acosta in 5th. Then Frankie Morbidelli's in 6th, so he's done well. He's kept his position there. Acosta's just taken Brad Binder there, so a good move. Stewards are, yeah, incident involving Bastianini and Martin under investigation. For me, racing incident. We'll see what the stewards say. 8 laps to go. 0.3 of a second the lead at the front for Bagnaia over Jorge Martin in second. Then he's got Marc Marquez right on his tail, just a 10th. Then there's a gap then to Pedro Acosta in 4th of 1.1 seconds. So it looks like your winner's coming from these front 3, who you can throw a blanket over all 3 of them now. So we've got Maverick Vinales currently is in 7th behind Frankie Morbidelli. Digi's in 8th. Aleix 9th. Alex Marquez is in 10th. I hope the stewards don't do anything now with Jorge Martin, because that's going to scupper his race for sure. I mean, it was Martin who had to sit up a little bit initially, but then he did the switcheroony and drove out of the corner, and unfortunately Bastianini was there. It was only a little tap, but it was enough to push Bastianini out, and race over. Pecco's just pulling out a little bit at the front here, 0.6 of a second, but over the lap it is yo-yoing. Don't forget to let us know in chat if you're watching, any thoughts you've got, any questions you've got. We've got Marquez on board here. He's going to blast past Jorge Martin into turn one. Martin's trying to tough it out on the inside, though. He's toughing it out on the inside. Marquez touches his knee onto Martin, and Martin's not giving that position up. Unlucky there for Mark, but no cigar, because Martin's a tough cookie, isn't he, now? Martin, he just tried to keep level with Marquez into that corner, because Mark was coming from behind, and as we all know, when you're on the absolute limit, if he applies any more brake, you're going down, aren't you? So good riding there from Jorge Martin. Good effort from Marc Marquez. They were ballsy effort. You wouldn't expect anything less, would you? But why these two are just having a little bit of a battle going on at the front. Pecco's now pulled out a 0.8 of a second lead, and he's looking smooth. 7 laps to go. It's going to have to be either a mistake from Pecco at the front, which we've seen in the past, or he's going to have to maybe have a little bit of a tyre issue or something. But I don't think in this 12-lap sprint race that's going to be a problem. No further action from the stewards between Martin and Bastianini. Racing incident, cracking. Right, going down the straight, 6 laps to go. Marc Marquez trying again with Martin, only this time Marc Marquez gets on the inside of Martin. So he controlled the corner there, and that's the move done. So your front three now is Pecco Bagnaia from Marc Marquez from Jorge Martin. Pedro Costa in 4th, Frankie Morbidelli in 5th, Brad Binder 6th, Maverick Vinales 7th, Digi Antonio in 8th, Alex Marquez in 9th, Aleix Espargaro in 10th. Do you know Marc Marquez is in this championship, isn't he? What is he, 39 points behind, 34 points behind? No further action taken between Quartararo and Oliveira. That incident, we haven't seen that incident yet, so can't even give you an opinion on that. But we'll go with the stewards. No further action. Pecco at the front now's got a 1.3 seconds lead there with 6 laps to go. I think he's pretty much got this in the bag now. 1.3 seconds, he'll just go off his pit board, won't he? Joan Mir's retired, so I'm assuming that's a technical issue, unless he's got some kind of illness or injury or something that I'm not aware of. Bagnaia is just going to go over the start-finish line now. 5 laps to go. Marc Marquez has brought the gap down now to 1.1 seconds and increased the gap to Jorge Martin behind him to 0.3 seconds. So is Mark going to get the hammer down now in this final 5 laps and see if he can get on the tail of Bagnaia? We'll see. Is he going to be happy with the second in this sprint race? He knows there's a championship here at stake, so he may well be. He may well be. And I know the last MotoGP races we've talked about, Marc Marquez, he's just going for the win. He's not bothered about being placed and what have you. You know, he just wants to be on the podium or the win. Oh, they're just showing us a replay there of Oliveira and Quartararo. That was naughty from Oliveira. I'm surprised the stewards have said no further action there. I would have said it's kind of a racing incident, but Oliveira was trying to get underneath Quartararo when there was no space, and he's punted him wide and off. I think Oliveira has been a little bit lucky though with the stewards. But back to the front. So Marc Marquez in second and Jorge Martin in third. There's no over it's almost a 0.6 second of a gap there. So I think that's Mark securing second. However, the gap to Bagnaia at the front is still 1.3. I can't see anything changing here now at the front. I think Pecco's got this one in the bag. 4 laps to go now. I tell you what, Frankie, Jorge Martin's gone. Jorge Martin's crashed out of 3rd place. Crashed at turn 1. Yellow flag's out. I thought he'd settled for 3rd and that was going to be it, and he just went in hot. Lost the front end. It just washed away from him, and fast crash. And if things stay as they are now, that means his lead at the head of the championship's down to 27 points over Pecco. It's only 32 to Marc Marquez. But the good news is, if you're a Pedro Acosta fan, he's got a podium position which he's just inherited from Martin's crash. That gap at the front's come down to almost a second dead. So Marc Marquez is not giving up on this. Pedro Acosta, he's 1.5 seconds behind Marc, so I don't see him getting involved in this with 4 laps to go. Well, it's actually 3.5 laps now, maybe less than that. But is Marc going to try and put the hammer down and at least put the pressure on Pecco, see if he can force him into a mistake? Be worth doing. We've seen Pecco do this before. Well, we've seen him do it on the last lap, so I think he can definitely put the pressure on. 3 laps to go. It's coming down to 0.8 of a second now. Marc is definitely putting the pressure on Bagnaia at the front. I'm assuming his pit have informed him that Jorge Martin's out. He looked wide there. Wide there was Bagnaia. This is going to come down to 0.8 of a second. Marc is going to get his... Coming out of Arrabbiata 1, Arrabbiata 2, if Marc gets his claws into Bagnaia at the front, it's game on. That 0.8 of a second is just a little bit too far. Once you get to like 0.5 of a second, the pressure's really on there then, isn't it? And there's nobody better than Marc Marquez. If he smells blood, he won't wait, will he? He will put that move in. And now he's on a Ducati, he's not having to do the ridiculous moves that he was doing when he was on the Honda. So we'll see. We'll see if he can do anything at all about this lead to Bagnaia. It's stabilised at 0.8. He's pushing the front there, is Marc Marquez. Well, that's what Marc Marquez does. Right, they're coming onto the long pit straight now. They're both on the same tyres, medium and soft. So the last lap, there was 12 thousandths of a second between them on lap time. Marc was marginally slower. What's 2 laps to go? They're coming out of the right hand. Are they going to be coming down now into Casanova, into Savelli, Arrabbiata 1, Arrabbiata 2. The gaps come down to 0.7. Marc's looking smooth. He just outbraked him. not outbraked himself, but he just took too much speed there into Scarperia and ran just a touch wide. But it doesn't look like he's lost any time. The gap's at 0.7. I think he has. That gap, that he did lose 3/10 in when he went in slightly hot into Scarperia, and the gap's now back up to a second. And in theory, that should be the race now for Pecco Bagnaia, who's in P1. They're going to be coming over the line any second now. That'll give them 1 lap to go. Last lap. Bagnaia at the front, Marc Marquez second, Pedro Acosta third, Frankie Morbidelli fourth, good showing. Vinales fifth, Binder sixth, Digi seventh, Alex Marquez eighth, Aleix ninth, Raul Fernandez in P10. So at the front here, it's between Bagnaia and Marquez. I think Bagnaia's got this one in the bag though. There's then a gap back of 2.5 seconds to Pedro Acosta in third. And Bezecchi's got a warning. I don't know what that's for. It might be a track limits warning or something. Yeah, Pecco's got this. If he doesn't do anything stupid now, he's not under a massive amount of pressure from Marquez. I think just that on the last lap, that little mistake that Marquez made put pay to that 3/10 that he lost. That put pay to any chance he had of getting on Pecco's tail and pressurising him. He's been pretty faultless here as Bagnaia. Cameras are just showing Jorge Martin getting back to his garage. He won't be too happy, will he? But still in the lead of the championship. And this will be a win for Pecco Bagnaia. Marc Marquez in second. Pedro Acosta third. Frankie Morbidelli fourth. Maverick Vinales fifth. Brad Binder sixth. Digi Antonio in seventh. Alex Marquez in eighth. Aleix Espargaro in ninth. Raul Fernandez in 10th. Championship, Jorge Martin 155, Bagnaia is 27 behind, and Marc Marquez is 32 behind. So it's closing up at the top. Tomorrow's race is going to be interesting because there's going to be some pressure on there for Jorge Martin to put a result in. But I honestly thought that Jorge Martin there was settled in third, just take it. But the margins are so small, aren't they? Between hero and zero. And Pecco Bagnaia, he is ecstatic with that win in front of, it's his own fans, isn't it, really? Ducati do most of the testing in Mugello. So Ducati, and especially the management, they'll be happy with that. Right. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button. Click the notifications bell. And give us a thumbs up, please. The algorithm likes that. Our stream sponsor today is jalexpetproducts.co.uk. Use the promo code JimmyJames and get a 5% discount on all your online orders. Sean will sort you out. I'm going to shoot off now and get the next stream ready, which is going to be the rugby league between Warrington Wolves and Wigan Warriors. Hopefully the team lineups are out. We'll get them up for you. I'll see you